Okay, so now we are going to work the moles of compounds two-step problem. We're going to work number one out together. And for number 1 through 5, we're going to be converting them over to molecules. So if we look at our double mole diagram again, we are starting with grams. We're going to go to moles, and then we're going to go down to our number of molecules using Avogadro's number. So when we convert mass to moles, that's our first step, we're going to use the periodic table. So these are going to be similar in style to how we worked the moles of elements two-step, but this time we're working with compounds and we have to calculate the molar mass. So for number 1, we're trying to find our number of molecules, so MOLCS, of HCl. What do we know, or what are we given about this compound? Well, we know we are given 72 grams of HCl. If we want grams to cancel, grams will go down in the bottom. And like I said, our mole diagram is showing mass to moles, so moles will go in the top. So our number 1 will always go with our moles with this type of problem. And we go to our periodic table to calculate the molar mass of HCl. So just remember how to calculate molar mass. You write down or make a list of your elements. We have 1 hydrogen, 1 chlorine. We round the mass of hydrogen and the mass of chlorine, we're going to round to 35. We multiply across, we add going down. So the mass is going to be 36 grams. Okay. So now we have your grams that cancel out. Our next step is to go moles down to our number of molecules, and we're going to use Avogadro's number to do this. So if we want moles to cancel, moles will go in the bottom of our equality, and molecules will go in the top. The number 1 will always go with our number of moles, and we use Avogadro's number because that was the number that we passed going from the moles box down to your number of molecules or particles. And now your moles has canceled, and we're in the correct unit that we need to be in. So just like before, we're going to multiply everything on top. So we'll take 72 times 1 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Write that number down. Okay, we're going to take 36 times 1, which is 36. Write that number down. And then 4.3 times 10 to the 25th divided by 36. And your answer ends up being 1.2 times 10 to the 24th molecules of HCl. Okay, so as you can see, these are set up and solved just like the moles of elements, except the only difference is you have to calculate the total mass of the compound instead of just looking up the mass of one particular element. So 1 is going to be a model for 2 through 5. So let's take a look at number 6. So for 6 through 10, you're going to convert over to mass. So we're actually going to be going the opposite direction that we did in number 1. So we'll go question mark grams, and we are working with diatomic chlorine this time. We have 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of diatomic chlorine. So just like before, if we wanted molecules to cancel out, that's going to go down here in the bottom. Let's go to our mole diagram. So we're here at our number of molecules. we're going to go to our number of moles. So that's what's going to go in the top of our equality. The number 1 will always go with our number of moles. Since we're passing by, we're going to use 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. I kind of say that's that particular highway between the two places. So molecules, it cancels out. Now, if we want moles to cancel, moles of CO2 will go in the bottom. Let's go back to our mole diagram or the map, and we're going to go moles to mass. So that means mass is going to go in the top, and we go to the periodic table to find our mass. So diatomic chlorine has the mass of 35. So we're going to take 35 times 2, and that's going to give us 70 grams. We're going to put 1 with our mole of diatomic chlorine. And now our moles have canceled out, and we're in grams, which is the unit we were converting to. So just like before, I know that these two cancel out, and your answer is going to end up being 70. However, they're not always going to be this simple. So again, we're going to multiply everything on top. So we'll do 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd times 1 times 70. Okay, write your number down, and then we'll do 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd times 1, which is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. We're going to divide 4.2 times 10 to the 25th divided by 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, and that's where we get our 70 grams of Cl2. So just like the other set of problems, 3 points each, work, answer, label. Make sure that when you set up your problems that you're including your units and you're also including your substances or your formulas within the problem and in your answer.